Enter into communion with Starfire Wisdom teachings shared with us by Luma Lor. Let the Starfire teachings burn through storylines that have anchored into our fields around birth and see our powerful way to reclaim our birth energies. This is part 2 of a 2-part podcast. If you haven't listened to part 1, please be sure to listen to episode 44 first, and then come back and listen to this second part here in episode 45. Honor yourself, celebrate your strength, empower your transformation with your Yin-care. This is the Yin-care Podcast, and I'm your host, Margaret Jacobson, the Mother Rising. Let's go ahead and show everybody the video for a second.
Oh, that'd be great.
And then we can read from the book together, which was the one on Age of Vibration. We're going to read that in a minute. So I'm going to add this here.
This is an amazing, unique time for us as human beings on this planet. We carry within us, in our incredible anatomy, our evolutionary properties to evolve ourselves. And that's what the Diamond Consciousness is about. And I'm very excited to share that there's assistance for those who want to attain Diamond Consciousness. And it looks like a book, and it's actually a tool. It's called Starfire Wisdom, the Adamantine Tablets of Diamond Consciousness Teachings. And the word adamantine is connected to the word diamond, which means invincible. Diamonds are the hardest substance. They came from carbon. We're becoming diamond in our consciousness if we take advantage of the pressures and intensities going on our planet right now to turn within constantly and go, well, who am I? What is the truth here? And stay present. The same alchemy of the carbon becoming a diamond, we are taking command and doing that with our own consciousness. And Starfire is the illuminated properties of stars. We all have that within us. We are all made of the same atoms that stars are made of. And we have our own potential to ignite our own starfire. My passion is using all my skills and talents to help this world become a better place. Part of that was following my Cherokee heritage, doing ceremonies, learning about the connection to the earth and honoring the spirit world and nature. I also went to India and studied with an enlightened master there in the Sri Ramana Maharshi lineage. And I've always been very driven to assist my brothers and sisters on this planet. And I walked that path. When I became an oracle, I became aware that I was moving into a higher service with my abilities, and the Pegasus became my personal symbol as an oracle to know whenever I receive that symbol, I know the incoming message is trustworthy. And becoming an oracle was very significant for me because it was like I had earned the ability to step up and access more information in the cosmos to serve humanity, which is what occurred with this book. One day, in 2014, I was meditating and I received an image of Pegasus, and suddenly these beings presented themselves and they said, it's time for you to write that book that you agreed to do. And I said, what book? And they said, the book you agreed to do before you were born. So I'm at my laptop. I said, just get out of the way, close your eyes, and let it come through. And the first chapter came through. And the title, The Adamantine Tablets of Diamond Consciousness Teachings. And I thought, wow, what is adamantine? I had to look it up. I was wondering, is this going to make any sense? I don't know some of these words. They're unusual combinations of words. And the guardians were saying, that's okay. There's a reason why we do it this way. And then another day, they'd say, it's time to do another chapter. And each chapter downloaded that way in its entirety. 42 chapters later, they said it was done. The languaging is very unique in this book. It's not like a conversation. There's unusual combinations of vocabulary that provoke a cognitive yoga. They provoke the necessity to stop and ponder, what could that mean, those two words put together? This is the cognitive yoga. It's where we stretch our mental realm, our conditioned thinking is keeping us locked down and putting us in a state of mental bondage right now. This language is architectured and designed to help us break out of that conditioned thinking and start working out our mental realm again, taking it back. One of the really cool properties of this book is it's activated by our voices. That's why it's been designed to read out loud. Plus, it's a lot of fun to do that. When we read this out loud, we're activating our access to these etheric files that unzip the information, so we have access to things we're wondering about. We're also able to connect with each other. So that's why the Guardians suggest read it out loud to a partner or a group. The Guardians are that collective group of consciousness that designed this software called the Codex to help humanity, because they love us and we affect the universe, so our evolution is of interest to them. They came to me as an oracle to stream this information in book form and then disseminate it to humanity. This is the book, 42 chapters, 60 exercises and activities. Love is everywhere and all that is. So upon that note, with great love, blessings to all who hear the call and dance the dance. Guardians of the Adamantine Tablets of the Diamond Consciousness Teaching. To get your copy of the book, visit starfirewisdom.com, where you can also learn about our classes, groups, and events.
Wow.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that. It's 60 exercises.
60. You're right. You're right. And I'm just going to put up here too, just so everybody knows.
Oh, yes.
If you do decide to go get the book, which you everybody should, and we're not done yet. I know there's so much to cover. It's very hard to keep it in, but we'll just put a plug here to use the code Yin-care, YINCARE, and you can go to starfirewisdom.com and purchase the book. You can get it in a PDF format, or you can get the physical copy, or both, which I did because I was using it like on the go and everything. All right, we are going to read. We're going to actually go back. Okay, Luma's going to start reading, and then, right, you're going to start reading here. This is from the chapter
Age of Vibration. I'm so excited to be connecting with you beautiful viewers out there, and appreciate you being with us for this. So this is for you as well. And if you have a copy, you can read along too. So in this exposition, we are presenting the Birth Energy Reclamation Act to reclaim any and all rights to your generator, your Genesis powers back to yourself. This begins with honoring all the mothers, physically and emotionally, who have ever been and ever will be. The great cosmic power of delivering the molecular structure of another human body potential temple is the most reverent operation of the galaxy. Take that in a minute. It stimulates great awe from many beings off this planet and holds great promise for the revolution of your system of Gaia right now. This is required to retroactively reclaim the right back from all religious and cultural attitudes that the female must give up her right to her body in any way, shape, or form. This includes sexual servitude, often hidden in the form of marriage. This includes mother servitude in the form of non-allowance of contraceptive and birth control measures, albeit a primitive form of control at this time because of the holding down and repression of knowledge that is available for women to control their menses and therefrom their contraceptive capabilities. The release of control on the female as a breeder must stop on all levels. This produces cattle, not humans. Ooh, I've got chills.
Oh my goodness.
I'm so passionate about this. Oh, it's just going through my body because, like you, we've had the mother experience. We've had our birth canals more than once. And we came through, everyone listening came through a birth canal too.
Exactly. That's the thing, is that we are all touched by this. You know, we are all, I really, really, really deeply, truly, profoundly believe that this is the core source of changing everything on the planet.
Yes, including mental slavery. It's a way of not having to hurt or violently blame another. It's just reclaiming that energy back, just taking it back and saying, just knowing we have the right to our own birth canal. And what we do with that is our own innate knowing. And I know you really advocate this in Yin-care, which is so beautiful, what you offer, this awareness for women to take back this. I mean, you're doing this.
Well, it's going to be coming through in a way bigger form. It's all just coming together for me. So there's going to be some other services and offerings and things as it relates to the training that I'm receiving right now in the Radical Birth Keepers training. But
Great.
I would just say that what happens at birth, so for example, you gave birth at home to your boys, and you haven't, I didn't ask you and you haven't shared how that went, but I'm assuming that was a powerfully positive experience.
It was, I can't imagine being in a hospital after that.
Yeah. And you were, well, anyway, there's timelines as far as like when certain things in hospital settings, there's just been waves in which people are escaping the hand clamp over that, you know.
Yes.
I sort of skated through on a couple of issues myself, but the fact is that you also experienced the birth trauma for yourself. And so this sets itself up intergenerationally. This is something, and this book speaks to it, these forces that have orchestrated these things specifically to control. And this control mechanism at birth is so powerful. It affects every aspect of who we are in our lives and how we make decisions. And that trauma reverberates in everything in our relationship. Yeah, go ahead. Speak to that.
Oh, I'm just reverberating what you're reverberating because it's true. It reverberates unconsciously because that's our first experience, imprint, is the birth. And if it's not consciously redeemed, it runs subliminal survival codes constantly in fight or flight, or easily triggered into fight, or not trusting. And a lot of people are becoming aware of that running in them, and they're like, how do I deal with that? Well, you can reclaim your birth energy, male or female. You can reclaim your birth energy that was siphoned off of you in some way.
Exactly. So shall I read the next part then?
Oh, do please.
Okay. All right. So the next part. Upon release of this false prophecy of the female as carrying original sin, therefore must birth, then shall the access to natural means of contraception and menses be more available for the public to access. It is already available through organic sciences and has been practiced secretly by societies of sacred sexuality and female-oriented mystic schools. This information will come into our hands if you but forgive out of your belief system any false lie that women should not tamper with their birth canal facilities. Give this idea up and follow suit to ask for ways to harness your birthing energy for the good of your soul progress and the divinity of love of all around you. And it shall come unto you in the correct proportion for your body type at this time. This includes the males who are reading this, for you are here because of your love and great heart that has opened to find a better way to honor yourself as well. You too carry the birth energy in you in masculine form to potentize the magical loving ocean of omniscience with the female receptacle chalice. As you, the male polarity, understands this, so shall you heal the rift that was created to split you from all aspects of yourself to be your own creator self. The ability to rebirth yourself constantly upon choice is available as well.
Well read. How does that feel to you? What did you sense? Did something come up to you? Any words resonate or trigger you?
Yeah. There was one sentence, let's see, right where it said, I think it was talking, this information will come into your hands if you but forgive out of your belief system any false lie that women should not tamper with their birth canal facilities. So it's a little, and I know that sometimes they make things a little confusing so that we bring it to the surface to talk about.
Exactly. Like a labyrinth. That's
it
a
is
labyrinth.
A little bit.
You're kind of going in and out and around like, where am I? Oh, and then I'm glad you read it again.
Yeah, I have to reread things a lot.
It's worth, well, that's required. If you need to read it, you do. You just stop and do. Because there's a reason. And another layer can come out and another layer. And whoever's listening might be benefiting by you reading it again, too.
Well, the part that is a little interesting to me is where it says, if you but forgive out of your belief system.
Yes.
And I think they're very big on forgiveness. Forgiveness is a huge part of this book. Mm-hmm. So forgive out of your belief system any false lie. So basically using forgiveness as a tool to excavate these false lies out of your belief system that women should. Is that right? Am I reading that right?
Yes. Yeah. I like how you said excavate. It's forgiving out is kind of one of those phrases. They put these words together that we don't do. But if you feel into forgive out of your belief system, it's like in our belief systems, they're usually the hidden part of the iceberg. The unconscious belief systems that are running are really not necessarily truths. So this one particularly is a belief that's not true that we may have swallowed without realizing, and it's running. Mm-hmm. So forgive out means you forgive out how that got planted there, how it got imprinted, who printed, why. You forgive out, you give it forth, give by your own volition, give it forth out of your belief systems. That's what that means. It's an action, removing that energy out. However you do that. And there's forgiveness exercises in the book to help do that. But once you forgive out that, then you're removing that imprint that maybe you have an opinion of it. Maybe you are aware that's what you heard growing up and you're like, no, that's not right. But it's still running subliminally, even though you don't believe it, it's buried. So it's good to forgive how that got put there. Right. So there's no charge, so it can release and come up from however it got imprinted, and it releases. And then you're open to receive guidance if you want to have your birth canal this way or that way. If you want to sustain from having children, but you want to do sacred sexuality or whatever you want to choose, it's your right to have the resources to do that.
Okay, so this is interesting. So then it does say any false lie that women should not tamper with their birth canal facilities. So is that saying basically that we have choice over every piece of it? I mean, my experience, my cycle is pretty much ended at this point, but I have connections with people who have the ability to consciously choose ovulation as well. Like that there is that level of control over how to decide when to ovulate, when to menstruate.
Wow.
But there's of course also the ability for us to just be more in touch with our menstrual cycle as it is currently flowing and work with conscious levels of conception in that capacity as well. So that's what I'm getting from that, is that we have that level of control. And I guess I don't really like the word control though. I just said it, but that's not what I mean. I mean that level of influence, of creative power, that would be better.
That's well chosen. And claiming one's authority of the creatrix energy.
Right.
Including the male's participation and their part in that. Now they're honoring the men here too, which is very important.
Definitely.
Part of reclaiming that birth energy and your ability to reproduce based on your heart and your soul, not on cultural inculcation. Mm-hmm. And, there's a lot of good in cultural support too. I'm not saying cultures are bad, but this particular unnatural inculcations are what we're talking about, things that go against our nature and our true authority in order to make humans compliant and to manipulate lives. Like, it's really obvious in advertising. They want you to buy this product. And so they use certain kinds of advertising to get you to go buy that. And it's using your mind to do that. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just something to know that there are many levels of that kind of control to get humans to behave a certain way. That somebody's got an agenda for that. It's good to know your own authority over your body. So when that comes towards you, you have a strong sense of, well, that doesn't feel right to me. This is what's right for me. Exactly.
And that comes, in this aspect of creation, it's going to come from the moment that we are all educated about women's menstrual cycles, for what men are learning and what women are learning about that, and what their perceptions are, and their ability to connect with that as something beautiful and powerful and special and magical and amazing, versus a pain in the rear and something that they have to deal with. And why me? This whole idea of, like it said, the sin and the curse and everything, like removing, seriously, that's, literally that's what they would call it, you know?
I love moving through the day honoring all of who I am as a woman. That can be a challenge when imbalances such as damp heat, or toxic heat rear their ugly head vaginally, and issues such as yeast infections, bacterial vaginosis, and even HPV creep in. When our sensitive tissues are off, everything is off. All the tools I may have in my repertoire to ground and center go out the window, and I feel myself coming slightly unglued, to say the least. Everything is so incredibly uncomfortable. But I was tired of finding product after product that completely obliterated all of a woman's microbiome, and honestly was worried for all the other strange but natural culinary items Pegasus I was testing out inside my vaginal cavity. It seemed wrong to kill all the bacteria off and then work to build a healthy vaginal microbiome back up again. That's one of the many reasons I absolutely love Yin-care's herbal wash. Research at the universities in China showed at the petri dish level that at a 10 to 12% dilution, Yin-care's herbal wash would lyse all yeast cells and other bacteria while still allowing lactobacilli to continue to proliferate. This incredible Taoist formula gently nudges the vaginal microbiome back into balance. Not to mention, it feels amazing. Its cooling properties not only cool the very upset sensitive tissues, but cools my head and allows me to come back into my body and ground into my life and purpose once again. If you've never used our wash and you plan to use it vaginally, be sure you purchase the combo pack that includes both the 180 ml bottle of Yin-care's herbal wash and the 100 ml vaginal applicator. We now sell the bottle in two sizes, 100 ml and 180 ml bottles. So head on over to yincare.com. That's yincare.com. And by the way, Yin-care's herbal wash feels excellent after some rather hot and heavy lovemaking, or even at a less sexier time, but incredibly important postpartum. Yin-care's herbal wash is excellent for postpartum care to cool things off, while also offering antimicrobial and antibacterial properties. So get your hands on some Yin-care's herbal wash today. Restore, rejuvenate, and refresh with Yin-care.
I remember hearing that when I started my moon time, my menstrual cycle, I call it moon time, when I was 14. It's a little late, and I wasn't really prepared well. My mother was uncomfortable with her sexuality and didn't prepare me really well, so I was kind of confused about it. And I can't remember why I was going to say this. What were we talking about?
Oh, I was talking about like how we all learn about our cycles when we're younger, and men and women both have to learn, and that our perceptions of that start early as far as whether or not we believe that it's a positive or a negative, or, you know, like if we can create like it's a beautiful, wonderful thing, or if it's a curse.
That's a curse. That's what it was. Thank you. It was the word, the curse. I had never heard of the curse because no one really taught me until I was 14 and I started menstruating, and somebody called it, "Oh, you're having the curse." And I was shocked. Like, what do you mean curse? And I didn't understand that it was going to start happening every month for many years. And I was really upset. I wasn't brought into the blood mysteries like the tribal way, which the grandmothers teach you what it is and how beautiful and powerful that timing is, which I learned later through the deer tribe. But I remember being shocked by someone saying, "Oh, you have the curse," and it imprinted my first experience with the blood mysteries as a scary thing. Yeah, that I had to undo later. Thank goodness, for these rites of passage ceremonies I got to go through.
Yeah, these are really powerful, and I just want to tell the audience that these are all topics that I want to go into further with either other guests as well that are bubbling through my head that would speak well to honoring these blood mysteries. And actually, Luma, you do some work in that capacity as well. So it'd be good if we could do another talk on maybe ways to reframe the blood mysteries at some point.
Yeah, I have I don't know if you can see behind me, the marriage basket. I don't know if you can see it.
I can't. Oh yeah, way back there. Yes, I get. Well, let me take this thing down because I think we're done with this, right? Or no, we were going to do the exercise.
Yeah, that's fine. We can go ahead. Anyway, the marriage basket it's a Navajo marriage basket I use in ceremonies, and it has this red line around it with an open birth canal. It represents the womb and the birth canal. And it's just this beautiful symbol that we put over our bellies when we're sharing in ceremony. Men and women use it. It's like the feminine form of a talking stick. It's how I use it. But it's a womb.
Wow. That's beautiful. And it's woven.
And it's
that's what we do. We weave.
That's good.
Well, shall we read the exercise?
Yes, that would be, is that
reclaiming your birth energy?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's give everyone an opportunity to experience this.
Yes.
I really am very passionate about this. All the mothers and that ever have been, ever shall be on this planet, and all the wombs that just think of all the wombs that go back in our own lineage. How many hundreds of thousands of wombs there are that we've come from.
I know. It's so interesting. Okay, do you want to start reading since I just read?
Okay. Exercise, reclaiming your birth energy. As the many who have attained certain levels of wisdom through their own reenactment of sexual prowess, you too can begin to find your way into the breaking out of restricted, thought-encoded beliefs that have only kept you, quote, tame for the domestication of your species by the harvesters of energy. Your energy is not only your right, but we say it is your only hope of avoiding the pains and suffering of an enslaved consciousness. Reach out and expand your consciousness. Willfully breathe the life into your awareness and ask for your heart and mind to be opened by the light beings around you that love you. Then quiet your mind and await new ways of seeing. This will always be afforded to a soul that asks with an open heart and mind. It is written.
Wow.
Do you want to carry on?
Sure. Ask that your birth energy be restored and restored back into your matrix for the wise use of your soul's growth and activating your soul life purpose.
Oh. Why don't you continue?
All right. Ask that your mother be forgiven for any ignorance she bought into, and that wherever she is on the life path, whether embodied or disincarnate, that her soul be guided into reclaiming her birth energy, and more importantly, her mother principle.
So let's pause here.
Okay, sure.
Let's pause and ask our mother, be forgiven. There we go. There we go. And just breathe that in, knowing that your mother's being forgiven of the ignorance that she couldn't help.
Yeah.
It's releasing that story.
Yeah. We're restoring.
Restoring. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank her with all your heart for managing to give you. Is that where I was?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Thank her with all your heart for managing to give you your body temple. Thank your father with all your heart for managing to give you the potential for your body temple and catalyzing enough energy to create the miracle of your life. Ask for your father to be forgiven for having bought into any arrogance or ignorance programs wherever he is on his life path, whether embodied or disincarnate.
So let's pause and do that for our father. Ask our father to be forgiven for having bought into any arrogance or ignorance programs. Just feel that fizzy effervescence moving through the heart and the lungs, up into the head, wherever it goes. And so be it.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ask that you be forgiven for any and all grievances that you hold for the loss and consequent lack of your birth energy and mother principle, and that it be restored unto you by the powers that be and the power within you to invoke your birthright. So be it.
Thank you. Let's do that.
Okay.
And that all that are listening and hearing this or witnessing, watching, viewing, in whatever timeline you're viewing this, it's recorded for posterity, that you may benefit from this act of forgiveness, reclaiming the birth energies, and so be it.
So be it. I love it. You know, what I wanted to share too, as I have been deepening on this Homo Illuminatus journey and really delving into the cervical healing. The cervix is so interesting because it's what opens the portal for birth, right? It's a beautiful organ, if you will, or a part of the uterus. And it is the space that the tip of the cervix is related to our heart. And so is the tip of the penis. So when the penis touches the cervix and there is that heart connection, and then that is the space that is this portal opening, this multidimensional portal opening that is going to allow the baby this, or that the baby is actually initiating its birth, you know. And so it's so sacred. It's such a sacred moment, and it's such a powerful moment. And the more in our power we are, the more powerful that moment can be. And so when we have forces that are manipulating how we're to be positioned, or how we're to be, you know, right, laying down or monitored or survey. I mean, you think about it, these are surveillance, these are control, these are the language that's being used in the room. It's coercive. So you can have this beautiful, glorious, joyful pregnancy, and to whatever degree you're doing that, and then entering into these systems can be just massive trauma inductions that implant so much control over how we behave in our life, because we become fearful for our lives and for our babies' lives at the moment that we are in our biggest, most open, raw state of possibility for stepping into our power as women.
Exactly. The stepping into our power that has been covertly manipulated so that we weren't in power, so we could be controlled. But that story's ending. So it's like we have to wake up and reclaim our power. And that moment of birth is one of them. And it's also, they talk about the parents, how powerful, empowering it is for the parents when they help their child come into the world together. And then once that happens, like when my first child was born, my husband and I just saw the power of the universe come, because I was awake. I had no drugs. I felt everything. I was present. And this new baby came into our world, and the light, there was light in the room that wasn't there before. And once that happens, it's like the Adamantine recognition of we're part of the creator energy field. We're part of that. We have this ability. What else can we do? What else can we co-create that's beautiful, like this beautiful baby?
It's amazing. And that's why this is such a powerful healing tool that we just read, because we can, just because I am sharing with you and pointing out these potential places where trauma has been inflicted, it absolutely can be completely transformed by using tools like this. It does not have to stay in the body, and the body can illuminate. The body can illuminate itself.
That's very important that you said that. Thank you. That you don't have to buy into the story like, oh, I was a forceps baby and I'm just going to be this way for the rest of my life. So actually just becoming aware of that explains certain things going on in my system, and just calling in, I want my wholeness back.
Yeah.
What's my story look like now?
Mm-hmm.
What am I guided to do? Who am I guided to see or stop doing or whatever?
It's the same thing with my hip, challenges that I had that were definitely related to the cesarean birth that I had. And yet the entire process of being able to, I don't ever view what happened to me as like a bad thing, because there was so many layers of learning that have come to me in my life because of that. But as I'm like creeping into this complete fulfillment of healing, it's like, wow, it's so cool. It's so exciting to see the muscles turning on and the bones lining up. And it's powerful. So, but these are I have to say, everybody, we've been at this for a while, so we'll wrap up our chat because you should really buy this book yourself. But this book has really been such a huge tool for me in my own illuminating. Yes. Oh my goodness.
You are illuminated for sure.
It's happening. It's happening. And it is so much fun.
It's fun to read with each other, and you laugh and you cry, and what comes up when you do it with each other.
We didn't get to talk about the Starfire Breath, though. Do you want to tell people, can you briefly share what that is at all? Because that might be interesting if they see that on your website when they go there.
Sure. The Starfire Breath is a breath technique that I developed from an original form of breath of the Toltecs, an indigenous tribe culture of the Western Hemisphere. The Toltecs had something called the fire breath. And of course, breath is powerful. It's been around the world in many different cultures because it is intrinsic power in our own bodies to do things, including healing and energy and intimacy. And the Starfire Breath started with me learning the fire breath decades ago, and through the Deer Tribe Métis Medicine Society. And I was given permission to carry that teaching forward and developed it for many years, helping people ignite their energies. And then it developed into the Starfire Breath, which is a way that I teach it that's a little more cosmic. And it's a forum where we come together as groups. And I have a music playlist and I guide everyone through it. But the beauty and the uniqueness of the Starfire Breath is it's an activating breath that ignites your starfire, your energy more in your body. And you're doing deep circular active breathing with your mouth open most of the time. And it's belly breaths down in the lower belly. So you're actively taking in and exhaling more air than you need for what you're doing, because you're not running a marathon. And then you're also squeezing the PC muscle, the pubococcygis muscle, or the perineum muscles, or some people call it a kegel, that area, synchronizing that with an inhale, relaxing on the exhale. And the third part, which also makes it really unique, is you are imagining you're commanding energy to flow through a certain circular pattern through 2 or more chakras at the same time, making a loop. And so you're either focusing on it coming from the earth, which it already does, but you're activating it to come in stronger, and you're sparking 2 chakras at the same time with this wheel. So they're sparking, they're being connected and flowing, and your breathing is like the bellows to the fire. And so this wheel gets hotter and faster, and all of a sudden the energy gets higher in your body. And anything lower than that, any energies lower than that, come up and clear, like emotions, memories, people's energy will come up and leave. And then we slingshot it through several different patterns up the body. Then there's also one where you breathe from the sun down into the body. And there's many different versions, but that's the basic one everyone learns when they learn it from me. And it causes just a lot of clarity. The heart opens, the integration of all these different energy centers get integrated. You don't need drugs after you do this. You realize plant medicine is wonderful. It's really great. And if you don't want to do that anymore, you can do this, because it connects you directly to those energies. And there's a lot of transformation that happens, including orgasmic energies that are not genitalia derived. It's just emotional, energetic orgasm energy. Yeah, and it's just really fun. It's just such a good feeling when we're done and we connect as a community. And it's really easy to talk to someone after you've done this. It's easy if you're in a couples relationship and you do this, then it's much easier. If you have something that's hard to talk about, it's easier to talk about when you do this, because you're connected to the source energy and you've ignited yourself and integrated, so you're more present.
It's really wonderful. And Luma offers it every Tuesday. I was going to say, what came to me as you were saying that is, it's a spiritual aerobics.
That's good. That's good. I like that.
In a sense,
it's aerobic, like,
yeah. In the sense that it's like a work, it really is, to me, I dedicate time to it like I would caring for my body as like a workout. It's a spiritual hygiene as well. And anyway, every Tuesday evening online, and you can sign up for that on her website. And again, I'll put that up on there. It's starfirewisdom.com. And I do want to reference a couple of different things. Again, you can use the code Yin-care if you would like to purchase Luma's book, and you'll get $5 off that. And you can also find Luma on her social media on Instagram, Facebook, and X at Starfire Wisdom, all written out there. And then the other episode that relates back to this is episode 38 for the Starfire Wisdom with the Diamond Dolls. So if you didn't get to check that out, that might be a good companion if you're curious to learn more about the Starfire Wisdom. Luma also offers, and I have gone to her and my daughter has gone to her for her oracle readings. And I train with her using the Golden Voice lesson. So there's a lot of different offerings that you can check out on her website, and they're all very powerful. I cannot speak highly enough of Luma. She's really just, you are such a special, amazing woman. I am so grateful that our paths have crossed in this life, that we created this. We created our path crossing right here, right now. How lucky. It's so beautiful.
I'm so blessed to know you. And I want to add one more thing in there as you were speaking.
Please.
A couple of years ago, I took a group of Starfire breathers to Bimini, and we swam with wild dolphins and did the breath, and it's extraordinary. So I'm in the process of creating another one of these journeys, sacred journeys, down to Bimini, and people who want to go and experience the Starfire breath and then get in the ocean with wild dolphins that commune. I mean, they're incredible.
Wow.
So, but be watching for that.
Yeah, just let me know and I can blast that out to everybody too.
I will. It's extraordinary to connect with these beings, because they're literally connecting with us and healing us and transforming us and playing and reminding us, quit being so serious. You guys need to play. Like, oh yeah, I can do that.
Well, I really would like to make that happen. So You definitely let me know and I can share it with everybody. It'd be really fun.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Margaret. Pleasure to be with you. I love you so much.
I love you so much. Thank you too, Luma. It's been wonderful.
Aloha.
Wow. That was an epic interview with Luma Lor and Oracle Pegasus. It was really on the lines of a 2-hour Joe Rogan style interview, only the feminine spirituality sort. So thank you so much to Luma, Oracle Pegasus, and the Guardians for showing up and being here for us to put forward this beautiful work of Starfire Wisdom into the world. If you receive something from this episode today, or you believe others you know will, please do share it with others. The Yin-care Podcast is newer, and we would love to expand the listenership. We are quite well known for our herbal wash, but the podcast is new. And if you're watching on YouTube, please like this episode, subscribe, even sign up for notifications, and definitely share it around. If you wish to comment or drop us a line, we would love to hear what you thought of it as well. Also, be sure to check out our womb wisdom store at yin-care.com. We have our regular store with our signature herbal wash to be used with damp heat, and toxic heat conditions in which women can develop things like yeast infections, bacterial vaginosis, and even HPV. This is the time of year when we get a lot more of people contacting us because the damp heat conditions have increased with the weather. So if you're feeling like you need a little bottle to have on hand, go head on over to yin-care.com and stock up. You can get, if you're just using it topically, go ahead and get the 180 ml bottle. You'll have a lot more on hand with that. You can get the 100 ml bottle, whatever size serves you. If you do need to use it vaginally, be sure to get the combo kit. It's also great for things this time of year at full strength with undiluted, a small application on bug bites to cool it off and just set it on there and it will just calm everything down. Or you can put it on for sunburns. It will really calm everything down on your skin as well. And you can also use it for things like poison oak and poison ivy, but definitely be in touch with me through our contact form if you are wondering how to apply it. You can also check out our affiliate store on the website where we have the Starfire Wisdom book featured. So you can check that out there. It'll remind you that the code is Yin-care. So if for some reason you forget, when you're heading on over to Luma's site at starfirewisdom.com, if you land on the yin-care.com website on the affiliate store, you will find that link and all of the information that you'll need. There's a bunch of other stuff that's listed there as well. So definitely check that out. If you are a practitioner and are interested in opening a wholesale account to sell Yin-care's herbal wash, you can certainly head on over to yaocompany.com. That's YAO company spelled out.com. And that's where you can sign up for a wholesale account. And both on the Yao Company site as well as the Yin-care site, we have information on our ambassador program. And our ambassador program is amazing. It really is a whole new way of bringing practitioners together to truly provide a whole new way of doing medicine for women's health. And that is taking on the Yin-care Ambassador Code. And we are branching out and bringing in all kinds of different other practitioners that are offering things like menstrual cycle, fertility awareness methods, and different types of birthing options for women that the practitioners that are offering services to women often don't even know are out there, that they can start bringing and networking those out to their patients. And also just letting them know about all these kinds of cool things that are available for their patients so that they can share those things out as well. So we really are becoming a trusted resource. And that is super exciting. So until next time, everybody, be sure to honor yourself, celebrate your strength, and empower your transformation through your Yin-care. Thanks so much for joining me today. You've been listening to the Yin-care Podcast, and I'm your host, Margaret Jacobson, the Mother Rising.